Hello, everybody. Once again, we're here. We're here. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. Are y'all hearing background noise on my end?
Nope, you
Echoing?
good.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm good. All right, y'all. So we're gonna jump into this topic because this topic has been a topic that I've been talking about. Miyoko and I have been alluding to this particular problem, if you will, that a lot of people have, or focus. We always sit back and we're always looking at what everybody else is doing. I was actually on a client call today, and that was something that she kept referring, like everyone else is doing this and everybody else is doing that, and we're not really focusing on the people that we're serving.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Mm-hmm.
this is a very timely discussion because we are approaching to the back to school season, the holiday season, then the new year. Right.
Right.
And when you look at big companies like retail stores and designers and things like that, they're focused on the consumers, and you look at it when you walk into their stores, when you see their ads, when you go onto Manhattan, you see Macy's and all these different places and locations, and they're just like trying to grab the attention of us, the shoppers, right? Every single time. So when we look at that and then we look internally in our businesses, we're so focused on our competition, which is just noise, that we forget about, well, what bright lights am I going to create, like Times Square, for the people who are going to come and visit your website, visit your social media, and all the things. So we're going to help you guys to avoid all distractions so that you can serve the people that you are called to serve, right? And not the noise, not everybody else. Hey, Stephanie, thank you for hopping
Hey,
on.
Stephanie.
Yes. How do you feel about this topic, Miyoko? Because I know you definitely probably hear from your clients the same
Well,
thing.
I'm big on standing out
Mm-hmm,
above everybody else. Like,
mm-hmm.
I think everybody's unique. They have their own unique expertise, skill set, that particular thing that you do in a way that nobody else does.
Right.
Notice how I didn't say better. I said that
Mm-hmm,
you do in a way that nobody else does. So
mm-hmm.
I love this topic. So let's dive into it.
Yeah, I love that word unique. I love that word unique. So you know how we say that the comparison is the still of joy, is what I
It's a
probably
thief
know I'm
of
quoting
joy.
it
Yeah.
wrong. Yeah, thief of joy, right?
Hey,
Hey
Annette, how
Annette,
you
how are
doing?
you? It's the same thing with comparison.
Mhm.
Comparison is the thief of connection. If we're always comparing ourselves to everyone else who does what we do, we cannot connect to our audience,
Correct.
right? Because we're always comparing. I don't have what they have, so I can't show up. I can't do what they can do, so I can't show up. It's whether it's resources, whether it's age. I hear that. Oh my God, Miyoko, I hear that all the time. I'm 50, I'm 55, I'm 60. It's too late for me, because you're probably seeing so many people who are younger than you out there who are successful. There is no limit to what we do, right? So every moment, we have to spend the time on elevating our craft, our skills, our expertise.
Hmm.
And I know we do that. And I know this for myself. This is why I hired you as my coach. Um, it helped us to become better entrepreneurs, better people in our craft,
Right.
in our business. Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is nobody has the same personality as you do.
No,
And I think when we get
absolutely.
caught up and we start to compare what another person is doing with their brand versus what you're
Hmm.
doing with your brand,
Yes.
you start to try to interject somebody else's personality into your business.
Hmm.
What happens is it creates a disconnection between you and your audience. So now they don't even know who you are because
Mm,
because you don't even know who you are. So
mm,
it makes you just look all over the place. It makes you look confusing and you lose confidence.
hmm.
And that no like and trust factor is out the window before you
Out
even
the
get it
window.
started. So I like comparison is the thief of connection because once you start to compare yourself to someone else, it pushes you away from the things that make you unique, the things that make you stand out, the things that you do in a way that is different from everyone else. And it's funny, before we got on this live, when I was getting, ready and dressed and stuff, something came to my mind about personal branding, period.
Mm,
Personal branding without your personal beliefs is not really personal branding. And I'm not
mm,
saying you don't have to share your religious beliefs. If you do, that's
mm,
your business. But what I'm saying is, if your personal beliefs, what drives you, what you're passionate about, what your story, we talked about that in a few trainings ago. your story and how you've gotten to where you become. If that's not integrated into your marketing, into copy, into your branding, then you don't stick out amongst everyone else. Because I don't believe in competition. I just believe that you have to lock in on who you are, your mission, what you want, your principles, your values, and articulate that in your messaging. And I believe that you will attract the people that will connect most to you. But everything I said goes out the window the moment you start comparing yourself to somebody else.
That's true. And I love what Stephanie said. She said, the more you focus on comparing yourself to others, the less you can pour into your business.
Great.
That's
and
true.
I even changed that last word. The more you focus on comparing yourself to others, the less you can pour into yourself.
Ooh, that's true. Because I was just saying too, like you're not going to be able to work on your craft within yourself, because our business is internal,
Because that is the business.
We are the business. We are the business. And if we're not working on us, and I don't mean to plug in our tour so early, but I'm gonna plug it in. Our tour is about you.
We're pouring into you.
To yourself. You
are the business.
Yes. And once you unlock that, oh my God, Miyoko, everyone who comes, is all the possibilities, all the doors, all the opportunities going to open up that they themselves are going to create. It's just going to magnify. Yeah. I love that.
Let's keep strolling along. Let's
stroll along. Let's get into number 2. Your ideal client doesn't care about what your competitors are doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I want to tackle this first, right? So
go right ahead.
Your ideal client doesn't care about what your competitor is doing. We have this preconceived notion in our minds, right? That our ideal client is looking at this competitor, that competitor. First of all, once you start thinking about competitors, you've already lost. Because that lets me know that you're focusing more time on what everyone else is doing than pouring into yourself and what you should be doing to connect with your ideal client. Now, your ideal client doesn't care about what your competitor are doing, but but price shoppers and people who are not committed to what you do care about what your competitor is doing. That's what comes up. That's why situations come when it's just like, all right, so how much does it cost? All right, let me check out the next person, right? Instead of, your ideal client is going to want to know, can you produce this particular result that I'm looking for, period. And a lot of them, for the most part, are not even going to ask about the price yet, because you are articulating what you do, identifying their problems, the solutions that you can provide them in such a way where it's just like, I really want that. They understand me. So let me go and see how I can work with them. Then it's just like, oh, by the way, all right, man. Okay, so what's the investment? Like if this is not your ideal client, but if your client is immediately focusing on price and trying to price you versus somebody else in the market, that is not your ideal client at all. It's not
at all.
They are not dialed into what you do, your mission, who you serve, your principles, your beliefs. They are not dialed in. They are price shopping, and that is not the type of client you want.
And from my experience, they're the biggest headaches.
The
biggest headache. Yeah. So Stephanie said you should be your own competitor. Focus on what you are doing and how you want your clients to see you. I'm a add to that what Stephanie was saying and say your potential customers and clients, they care more about who sees them, who understands their struggle,
right,
who offers real solutions. And I'm saying this from my experience. I've had, in a certain part of my life, I've gotten a lot of help that didn't work, but to be connected to somebody that understands my struggle, my pain, and all the things matters the most. I think that's important, that our consumers know that we see them, we see them, which is of value. So I mean, I love all this. It's so true. There's a saying somebody told me years ago: focus on beating your best. So whatever you did last month, try focus on beating that.
Right.
Win your own race
internally, also, not just from a service perspective or marketing perspective, internally as well.
Oh yeah. definitely internally. We don't want to dive into the internals, but we're going to force you guys to do that for our tour. We just got to, because we missed that
Absolutely.
part. We
Absolutely.
missed that part. Yeah. So let's dive into our last point, y'all. This is some juicy information. Y'all probably gonna have to watch this again. I may take this down. This is like a class. Okay. Number three.
It's specific and it's targeted. And
yes. And everybody needs to hear this, right? So industry trends don't always reflect your audience.
No.
Just because it's popular in your niche or niche, whoever people's like, oh, you say it wrong, whatever. In your niche doesn't mean it's what your audience wants from you. Right. What they want from you. So it even goes back to what you and I discussed yesterday. You know, we have the tour coming up. We have some great information that you guys, high value, millions and millions of dollars worth of information you guys are going to get. But we are always focused on what is y'all problem solution to solution ratio that you guys want to accomplish. So paying attention to our audience needs is important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Because here's the thing. I'll give you a perfect example. Everybody knows what ClickFunnels is, right?
Yes.
Or sales funnels. That's the big thing, right? So initially, sales funnel didn't really affect my business because a lot of my business came from either referrals or one-on-one coaching. So I didn't have a funnel at all when I first started. And I would just go and actually post, be present on social media. And, you know, I was doing 10,000 a month just from that. But people will tell you, oh, you need a funnel. The industry trend was a funnel. But it wasn't affecting my business model. Because my business model was the way that I reached out to people. I wanted a certain number of clientele one-on-one. And it actually works for me. All right. So my clients, for what type of coaching that I was doing, they needed more one-on-one. And funnel for most people was actually scaling, dealing with a lot of people at one time. Now, I'm not saying funnels aren't useful, but I'm using this as an example because that was an industry trend.
Yes, it was.
Now people are doing funnels.
Big time.
What my audience needed was more one-on-one for me because I was doing more internal, more emotional stuff. So I wanted to be more present for my clientele at the time. So just because you see something trending in the industry, it may work for you and it may not work for you, and it may not work for you. Depends on what particular point in your journey you're at. I just want to make that specifically clear because some people are like, oh, I got to get a funnel. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to build a website. Oh, I got to change my brand colors. I got to rebrand. I got to talk about this because this person is talking about that. No, you don't. Know where you are in your own process and where your audience is in their process, and stay there.
Stay there. Stay consistent with it.
Grow and to develop.
Right.
Because you want to do it right.
That is so true what you said. And I got to give a shout out to Eric Carter. I was just on his Zoom before I hopped on here. And he said, I don't want to misquote him. Leverage, but don't rely. Leverage, don't rely. So in the same example that you said, you have leveraged social media and leverage, you know, in funnels in a sense, but you didn't rely on it. You relied on your own strategy. You rely on what you need to do.
Right.
I remember back in 2016, I think it was, everybody was doing websites. You remember that. Everybody get a website. People were spending, I don't know, $15K on a website. I mean, ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, you know, I was still working at the time. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to get a website. You know, so all I had was a simple, you know, sign up page, put it out there, connected to my PayPal account, and bam, I made money. So you got to, even though something could be a trend, if your audience is like if you can provide a solution and you're marketing really good, and you have those fast action takers, they're just going to go to the link and say, hey, where do I sign up?
Right.
You know, not everybody. I didn't feel, for me, my business needed at the time. Go ahead.
Stephanie said, when I started in my business, all I had was a Google business page. I didn't build a site until later on. Seriously, even now, I even admit it, and it's probably not the best thing, but I'm going to admit it. My MiyokoTaylor.com site is not done at all. I don't even go.
Yeah, mine neither.
Now, am I potentially losing business? Maybe. But I had spent so much time leveraging social media and my network for years. I didn't even look to a website. I didn't need one. I literally, because here's the thing. I am a firm believer that social media platforms are the new websites.
Yeah, it builds your presence. That's your presence right there.
Now you can't rely on your audience for that.
That's right.
You have to build email lists and things like that, which I have to do a much better job with that, and Letitia knows that. But when it comes to a website, I'm a firm believer that if you have one, great. If you don't, you don't really need it, because social media platforms are the new websites. And if they go down, they go not functional, you need an email list. Now you have email list. So industry trends, they don't always reflect what your audience needs at all. So you need to tap into and make sure you are well aware what your audience needs, regardless of what trends are actually going in the marketplace. I love this. You know what? This is probably one of the shortest live streams we've done, but
I know that is one of our best ones.
But it's very tactical. I want to say something. Maybe you can go ahead. You cover this first, and then before we close out, I want to share something that I want to put on everybody's mind, because we
covered the whole thing. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so if we're done, I'm going to leave you with this bonus. All right, so let's say I have a book bag, right? This is a difference. They say this is a difference between a rich person and a poor person. I want to say this is between a person that is looking for instant gratification versus somebody who's a long-term visionary and sees the bigger picture, right? So I come to you with a book bag, and I tell you this book bag costs $1,000, and I want you to buy it. And you can type it in the chat. What's the first thing that you would say?
Type it in the chat, y'all. I'll wait for them to answer.
Would you say? Most people are gonna say, most people are gonna say, man, it costs too much.
Right.
What you should really say is, what am I getting?
What am I getting?
What's inside it?
What's inside of it?
Now, just picture this. If somebody said, I'm going to sell you this book bag for $1,000, but what you don't know is it's $100,000 in it.
Yeah.
You just lost $99,000.
Yes. Yes.
What does it come with? Right.
What does it come with? There you go. See, we got some smart ones on here.
$99,000. Now, here's the problem with most of us. Most of us will look at, even in the coaching, whatever it is, we look at the price first. Oh, this is it costs too much. It's costing us too much. But we don't ask what's on the other side. What am I getting if I do this? If I pay this money, if I invest this, what is it I'm getting? That's how a visionary thinks. That's how a wealthy person thinks. They don't think on how much does it cost. They're looking at, what am I getting?
The positioning.
What's inside it? What am I getting? How is it going to make my life different? Now, if it's going to help fix my marriage, it's going to help my health to get better. If it's going to add more money to my bottom line, is it going to give me more time with my kid?
Right.
I'm not looking at the $5,000.
Right.
I'm looking at what I'm getting from it.
What are you getting from it? What are you getting? What are you gaining? What are you going to walk away
with?
Absolutely.
Right. So walking away with, what I'm walking away with is worth way more than what I'm actually investing. I just want to kind of add that tidbit, because most people would say, oh, that book bag's too expensive, instead of saying, wait, what's in it? What makes this book bag so different? What's inside it? What am I getting by purchasing this? Oh, well, never thought you asked. It came with 50 grand. It comes with 50 grand. With that. Like, oh, okay. So for $1,000, I'm going to get $50,000 in cash.
Right.
Get this. It's the same thing. The same way we should go at life and what we invest in.
Amen.
All right. This is what it costs, but what is it? What am I getting away from it? Amen. How am I going to be different? How is it going to transform me? Am I going to get time back? Am I going to get more? Is my health going to get better? Is my relationship going to get better? Is my business going to grow? This is how we should all think. Am I going to be spiritually more rooted and grounded? These are the things we should ask ourselves before we invest in anything.
Anything. Yep. And I'm telling you have that mindset shift right there. That's going to change your life.
But here's the cool thing. So here's the icing on the cake. Your ideal client is thinking in the same way.
Same thing. Same thing.
Letitia, you got $1,000 product. Miyoko, you got a $10,000 product. Letitia, you got a $20,000 product. Okay, it's $20,000. But what am I getting? What's inside? What am I going to walk away with?
Yep. And you and I have both. We're high-level coaches. We've been around tons of high-level coaches. That's the mindset that is prevalent in that world. And if you guys are not around that, then you need to get in the room with people who are like that. Because I know some of y'all are probably sitting back and thinking, you're looking at the clique that you're around, the squad or whatever you want to call it, the community, and you're not seeing that type of thought process. So you undercharge yourself, right? You get out there and you think that, oh, that's too much, or this is going to take too long, or you don't have enough. When you get around other people who think that, like, think exactly what Miyoko just said, it's going to open doors for you.
Game changer.
It's going to be a thing. And even if there's people coming against you, you're still going to have that belief system within you.
Absolutely.
That mindset shift.
And this is why you need to come to the tour.
Yes. So, Miyoko and I are super excited to announce that the venue is locked in, and we are so excited to have you guys come and join us. Should we share how many spots we have left for in-person?
Yes.
So we have only 4 in-person spots, y'all. Only 4.
We got 4 spots left.
And we just looked it over yesterday. We were like, wait a minute. We got to let everybody know, because that's not a lot. And we don't want 4. How you say that in Spanish? I don't even know. But
cuatro,
right?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Cuatro. Only 4. So we're looking for 4 high-level minded people to definitely join us here in New York, August 16th. For an absolutely life-changing event. It's going to absolutely change your business. So come out and join us. Again, it's going to be on August 16th. Those spots are definitely going to fill up fast. So please make sure to make arrangements to go ahead to yourbreakthrough.com and get your in-person ticket for August 16th here in New York. Okay. So once you grab that, you're in. Again, only 4 spots left, and we don't know how long those are going to be available for you guys. All right, so make sure y'all grab it. I see Diane's here. She already got her Georgia's ticket, but definitely join us in New York. Definitely join us in New York. For some of y'all, it's only a hop, skip, drive away. Okay, and y'all need to get outside. Don't miss out. Definitely don't miss out. I love the energy. I love all the things that we're doing around this event. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and we definitely want you guys to not miss this. All right. So again, the link is yourbreakthrough.com. You're going to go there. You're going to sign up and get your in-person. If you can't come in person, we do have virtual tickets. Okay. We do have virtual tickets. So join us virtually as well. But definitely, if you can't come in person, get your ticket in person, okay? Be part of the 4 that's left. All right. So listen, y'all, this is one of our short ones, but our juicy ones, right?
It was good. Yeah.
Short but juicy. And I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much for Stephanie, Diane, all of y'all who are watching this. If you hopped on the replay, go ahead and type in #replay. And we're going to see y'all tomorrow. Y'all do not want to miss tomorrow's topic. So make sure that you are following Miyoko and I on all social platforms. If you have any questions about our tour, you can DM me and Miyoko. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. And we'll see y'all tomorrow, guys. Bye, y'all.